for Quilts of Valor in the greater Wichita area. And I have with me Stacy Crundwell and Paula Summers that are going to assist with the presentation today. Feel free to interact however you wish, but we're here to honor Mr. Ybarra. Yeah, go ahead.
So good afternoon. Thank you for having us here today. Quilts of Valor is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to cover service members and veterans who have been touched by war with comforting and healing Quilts of Valor. The foundation was actually started in 2003 by Catherine Roberts, whose son had joined the Army and was deployed to Iraq. She said that after he deployed, she constantly felt 10 seconds away from panic. She wanted to do something meaningful, something to honor her son's service and help service members who were injured on the battlefield or suffering from the stresses of war. Catherine was a quilter, so she decided that she could help by making quilts to provide comfort for wounded warriors coming off battlefields in Iraq and Afghanistan. So Catherine called on her quilting friends for help. Before long, through the magic of the internet, word spread and many Quilts of Valor groups formed all across the country. As the organization grew, so did its mission. And now Quilts of Valor are awarded to any honorable service member or veteran who has served this great nation. So since 2003, our foundation has awarded more than 187,000 quilts. I come from a military family. My dad served in the Army, my stepfather served in the Army, and was a prisoner of war of World War II. My uncle served in various branches. My older brother and my sister-in-law are both retired Air Force. Like Catherine, I too know the feeling of having a child enlist. Two, actually. My oldest son was in the Marines, and my other son is in the Navy. My oldest son had tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. However, I didn't have years of experience behind a machine under my belt. I was self-taught. Did you know that you can actually learn stuff off of YouTube? So slowly I became more involved with the quilting circles, which led me to be a part of Quilts of Valor. And each quilt actually brings a three-part message from our hearts. First, we honor you, Mr. Ybarra, for your service. We honor you for leaving all that you hold dear and for standing in harm's way to protect us from the effects of war or even in times of peace. Next, our quilters know that freedom is never free. The cost of freedom is a dedication for men and women like yourself. This quilt is to say thank you for your sacrifice. Finally, the quilt is meant to offer you comfort and to remind you that you are forever in our thoughts and hearts. You are appreciated. You are remembered. For those of us who have never seen combat, who have never been in a war zone, who have never had to sacrifice their time, their own wants, their own needs for this great nation, such experiences, they are beyond our capacity to comprehend. But we believe these Quilts of Valor offer both warmth and comfort. We hope when you experience a gloomy day or need the warmth of a grateful hug, you will wrap the quilt around yourself and it will provide you the comfort, the care, the respect, affection we have put into choosing the cutting of the fabric, stitching and assembling of each personal design, quilted, then bound by hand, and finally personalized with a dedicated label specifically made for you. Because again, you are appreciated. You are remembered. Mr. Ybarra enlisted in the Army after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and he landed on Omaha Beach on D-Day. as a part of a reinforcement unit for the first waves that had taken heavy losses. Mr. Ybarra said there was no time to stop upon landing on the shore because of intense firepower by the German forces. A few days later, they met deadly fire from the enemy, and in the confusion, American planes accidentally killed most of the men in his unit. At this point, Mr. Ybarra served as a head scout, a position designed to draw fire from the enemy in order to pinpoint their location. Mr. Ybarra was seriously wounded and spent nearly a month in the hospital. For his actions, Mr. Ybarra received the Purple Heart with Cluster, the Bronze Star with Cluster, and the Gallantry in Battle Medal. After his recovery, he went back to the front lines and was wounded again while coming to the aid of a wounded comrade. In 1994, France presented Mr. Ybarra and other American veterans a medal commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Normandy invasion. On June 28, 2015, he was also recognized by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs as a Veteran of the Day. So typically, each quilt is wrapped around each recipient and presented with a hug. Oh my God, you get a hug. You don't like the hug?
He likes hugs.
And also you get the dedication certificate that we're going to present with you today. In a presentation case to store your quilt, and some choose it as a pillowcase and display their quilt openly.
That's pretty.
So today we're presenting you also with the certificate
Dibs.
which says, the Quilts of Valor Foundation wishes to recognize you for your service to our nation. We consider it a privilege to honor you, though we may never know the extent of your sacrifice and service to protect and defend the United States of America. As an expression of gratitude, we award you this Quilt of Valor.